Hey,
Hey.
Subs Junior. It's our first episode of 2025.
Yes. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I know we wished you the last day of 2024, but hey, here you go. It's been a while. I know we've not been podding for the last
But
3 weeks.
today will be quite a long episode because we're going to cover whatever we didn't cover from the last few weeks.
Yeah, so we've got a bunch of things in store for you. We've got all the last 6 games, the holiday season and the first 3 games for the Premier League. So 6, we'll discuss the form table. We'll cover a bit of the Champions League, and wow, what a rollicking contest it's been. We'll probably talk a little bit about a couple of other tournaments in England, and maybe touch upon some of the transfer news. But we'll do a more transfer focus section over the next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, because my dad's going to India.
Yeah, I will be in India for about 10 days or so.
And we have nothing. Cut.
Yeah, so look, I think that's where we are. And hey, look, we are the football subs, and as you know,
hi, I'm Subs Junior, aka Subram,
and I'm Sub Senior, aka Subramanian. We are Rajesh Subramanian. Together, we are the
football subs.
So where should we start, Subs Junior? Should we just do a little recap of the table?
No, I think we should.
Where are we right now?
Please.
So where are we in the let's go to the Premier League.
Okay, let's talk. So,
let's do a review of the table. Where are we in the table right now?
So Liverpool are first with, as I think, they have the most wins, but Newcastle are in brilliant form. They, of course, Isak. He'll be really expensive for other teams to buy. So I don't think. Yeah, he's not going to move.
So we'll come to the deep dives of the teams. Let's go into detail. But let's just summarize, right? Liverpool are at the top, 53 points from 22 games, 16 games to go, and to be honest, 16 games, maximum of 48 points. Even if they get 40 points, 93, that's a winning total. Arsenal are second at 47. They got 15 games. If they win all their games, 15, they get 92. Difficult. But they did go for a run last year where they won 16 out of their last 18. So let's say even if they get 14 games out of 16, that'll bring them to last year's total of 89, the Invincibles total of 89.
Yeah.
So let's see, or 88, sorry, one more than that. So you never know, right? Nottingham slipped a little bit. We'll cover their form. Man City is catching up again. They've discovered good form. We'll cover that. Newcastle, as Subs Junior said, has been on rollicking form. We'll cover that. Chelsea slipped a bit, and so on, right? So there's a lot of things that are happening.
Bournemouth have came up,
So why don't we cover a little bit of the last few games? Hey, so Subs Junior, we covered the table. Why don't we look at the form table? And what do you know what we mean by the form table?
Yes, Newcastle are really good, and they've been in brilliant form. I think Isak's been carrying them.
Yeah,
he's been scoring most of the goals, and some of you may know this. He's the best striker in Europe right now.
Yeah, so Newcastle is there, right? So he's the best striker in Europe. But very quickly, if you summarize, then we'll go into each of the teams. If you think about, so Newcastle is the team in form right now, and what are some of what's happening with them?
They've just found form, brilliant form out of nowhere. Yeah. Isak's been scoring pretty much all of the goals.
Yeah.
They won. So it started when they won against Aston Villa 3-0, then United 2-0, then Tottenham 2-0 again. I mean 2-1. My bad.
They did a lot of things.
And 3-0 against Wolves. But then they lost against Bournemouth.
Bournemouth is
and they're just picking up lots of good form right now. Today they beat yesterday they beat Nottingham Forest 5-0.
They beat Southampton 5-0.
No,
they beat Nottingham Forest. They beat Southampton 3-1. Yeah, they beat Southampton 3-1. So that is really something. So look, and you wouldn't believe who's the team who's number 2 in the form table. Who do you think? You'll never think them. Yes, it is.
the former title winners. I mean the title winners of last season.
The defending champions.
Manchester City.
Yeah.
Wow.
They've been in good form, scoring lots of goals. 1-4, drawn 2.
And they've already made 3 signings. We'll get to that later.
No, so why don't we talk about that right now? Man City, what's been happening with them now? And why? How are they winning? They've got some great results, right? Including a 6-0 thrashing of Ipswich, including a 4-1 thrashing of West Ham.
Yeah.
So do you think they're back in form? Haaland is scoring goals, isn't it?
I wouldn't say that yet.
Okay, but still, you're right. They still throw away leads.
They're not. I think the title just slipped out of their hands.
Probably.
Their aim is like runner-up or 3rd place in Champions.
Probably 3rd or 4th is what they stated as their goal.
Yeah.
So let's see how it goes. Foden is in form. Look, they are there or thereabouts. They can go on a big run for the rest of the season. It's very much possible, and then they'll probably definitely land up in the top 4, which they already are as of today. Maybe land up in the top 2. Liverpool does look a bit dislodgeable. Now, if you think of the next 2 teams who are up there in the form table, they are, of course, our usual suspects, Liverpool and Arsenal.
Yeah.
Now, look, Liverpool did not win all their games.
Yeah, and Liverpool drew 2, I think.
Yeah, Liverpool did draw 2 games.
Liverpool drew 2 and Arsenal drew 2 as well. And then they won, I think, I don't know.
They won 4 out of the last 6. Liverpool drew against Man United. That was unexpected, and that was at home. Ruben Amorim's Man United, who's been in the most despicable of forms, but they somehow managed to do that. Nottingham Forest gave Liverpool a good run for their money, and they did end up figuring out how to win all the other games fairly comfortably as well.
Yes.
So they are certainly in. Mohamed Salah is in great touch. If he doesn't score, Szoboszlai does. If he doesn't score, it's Snack. No, it's Cody Gakpo. So they are in supreme touch. They've not conceded a lot of goals. If you really think about the last 6 games and the form table in terms of what they've conceded, Newcastle have conceded 6, and then Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal all have conceded only 5 goals. Now Arsenal, that's something interesting.
Well, yeah, and they're in the same form as Liverpool. Right now, not guaranteed, but right now they're just marching forward to the title. So
but you know what's the good thing about Arsenal? Yeah, go on.
Yeah, what
tell us about that. I'm saying Arsenal has been beset by injury problems. As you know, our sad boy Saka is out.
Yeah.
Nwaneri was out. Couple of our defenders were out.
And at the start, Odegaard was out, but
Odegaard goes up and in and out.
But despite that, we've still managed to keep our 2nd place.
That is true, and the thing is, they've somehow figured out a way to win games, with a struggle, but win games, like 1-0 to Ipswich, 1-0 yesterday to Wolves after being 10 man down, and that was a fraud red card. I don't know if you will agree with me.
Lewis Kelly.
No, that's not true.
It hit. So let's just quickly talk about it. So what I thought happened was it hit his shin, then onto the leg. I don't know why Michael Oliver, he gives out lots of red cards. I think he also gave one of the other red cards out for Arsenal. Yeah, Rice.
No, yeah, to one.
Yeah, Rice, and then, but the ref thought, but Michael Oliver thought it was a studs, but João Gomez, the second one, that was not
exactly the same.
Yeah, but I don't know why he gave a yellow, because that was surely a straight red. But anyway, So then So let's talk about Arsenal's form. So they beat Ipswich 1-0. Kai Havertz scoring, and they came back against Brentford and managed to win 3-1 at the GTEC Community Stadium, and then they drew. Partey making yet another mistake. Arsenal are looking for a replacement for him, but I don't think that's right. I don't know Arteta just wasting his money on midfielders, which I don't think is gonna happen. He conceded a penalty. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, Then they beat Tottenham at home. They drew to Aston Villa. Ollie Watkins
And
can't stop scoring, and yep,
it's
we just
ridiculous.
talked
We
about
gave up
it.
a 2-0 lead. We should have won that one, but we
So,
didn't. So
as
that
people
happened.
call it the 2-0 cushion, it's 3-0
There's
cushion.
no cushion anymore. Really, there's no cushion. Look, and Man City will agree to that. They've dropped so many points after being 2-0 and even 3-0 up. But the reality is, do Arsenal need a striker? Hell yes. Do they need it
Yes.
today? No, they needed it day before yesterday. They needed it 2 seasons ago, but they hell yes need it right now. Yeah, there are some names being thrown about, but
Yeah.
we need to take action. Man City has gone on and signed Marmoush, one of the most prolific strikers in the league
They signed
after Salah.
Kusanov. He was a brilliant defender at last season, but he did make a mistake yesterday.
Those things happen.
Then gave away a goal. And some other defender.
So we need some strikers. They're talking about Sesko. They're talking about Cunha. They're talking about Gyökeres and God knows. But we'll see what it goes. Then of course the next on the form table, the next two teams. One is Nottingham Forest. They're doing well. 6 games, 4-1, one drawn and one lost.
And then Bournemouth.
They did get trashed yesterday. Nottingham Forest was in good form, but they did get trashed, didn't they, yesterday? To Bournemouth. No.
Yeah.
To Bournemouth. And surprisingly, Bournemouth's been another team in form.
Wow, they won 5-0 as we were talking earlier in the episode. Wow, they've been in really good form.
They've been in 5-0. Yeah, Bournemouth. They've had who else but Jason, right? Clivert's been scoring prolifically, and Otara.
Yeah, Otara hat trick, and Sub Senior had Clivert in his team.
Yeah, I had Clivert in my fantasy football team. And unsurprisingly,
and he had 3 Nottingham Forest players. He had Matt Sells, Aina, and Chris Wood.
Well, these things happen. You win some, you lose some.
He will score next time. That's what I think.
Raola and the entire team, they've done pretty well over the last few weeks. Look, let's cover a few more of the teams that are actually lost a bit of form. Yes. Chelsea have lost a little bit of form, haven't they?
Yeah.
Think about Chelsea; they've not done brilliantly.
Chelsea, yeah, they just
won one in the last 6 games.
So I think when Cole Palmer scored in the first half, but then suddenly in the last 5 minutes, magic happened. 2
Fulham,
goals.
Right?
Yeah, and Fulham haven't beat them since that match in
That was a historic game many years ago.
Yeah.
But then Chelsea went and lost to Ipswich at home. Oh my God. They drew with Crystal Palace. They drew with Bournemouth. They did beat Wolves. That was their only victory. But yesterday they again kind of got trashed by Man City. Right? Even we do that. Let's do a couple of other teams which have kind of not really found form. If you think about it, you have with Newcastle. We spoke about it. Right? They are the team in supreme form. Now we're going to talk about a team that has had a crazy dip of form. But then, to be fair, they
haven't really. They've lost some, but then Amad Diallo's been
the only shining grace.
He is a really good talent. Okay, let's start.
Man United, right?
Yeah.
Again, Ruben Amorim says this is probably the worst Man United team ever. They saddled with a bunch of high salaried players who just don't have the form. Some of them don't have the talent, and they just don't play well as a team. So there's going to be a big upheaval happening in this transfer window. So there are a couple of shining lights, like you mentioned, Amad Diallo.
Yep, and
of course the FA Cup quarterfinal. No, FA Cup third round, where they beat.
Where a
10-man Man United beat Arsenal. That was a brilliant victory for them. I must admit, it did take the wind out of our sails for Arsenal, but it was a good win. Yeah,
but Arsenal will get lucky sometimes because they just rely on their set pieces.
That is true.
And okay, now
speaking of Arsenal, go on. Speaking of Arsenal,
now we're going to talk about their rivals.
Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur.
So if you go back to the form team, Guess which team is in the relegation zone? Tottenham. I know we shouldn't laugh at that misery because it could happen to anyone, and I do feel bad for the Tottenham fans
Yeah,
because at
me
the end of the
too.
day, look, it's Ange is a great manager. He's full of passion, and something
But
slipping
just
away
the
from him.
team that, yeah, like last season, since he joined, they were actually quite good.
Yeah, they've got some five points or 4 points out of the
And
last
they
9 games, and
probably
they've got 1 point out of the last 5 games. 1 point.
yep.
Right at the bottom. Leicester's lost their last 5 games, Southampton's lost their last 6, and Tottenham is just got one miserable point. And really, that point was against Wolves, who's probably one of the worst teams in the league as well, from a form as well as in the overall table
Yeah,
point of
and
view.
they're really lucky because they have the same points as I think Tottenham, but they're just higher on goal difference. They need to be careful.
Now, do you see a trend in Tottenham's results over the last six
Yeah,
games? You see all the games they've lost. By how many goals have they lost them? Okay, Liverpool, they got thrashed 3-6, but they
goals
still scored three
galore.
goals galore. Look at the other 4 games that they've lost.
Nope.
0-1 against Forest.
They drew 2-2 against Wolves. Then they lost to Newcastle. 1-2 again Arsenal, and then
2-3
2-3
at Everton. So they've lost all these games by 1 goal. So think about it. They're just there, right? They just need to apply themselves. And almost always, a lot of the games tend to be two halves. They really play well in one half, but
and
they just become all Spursy in the second half. I know Spurs fans, you will agree with me.
Spursy.
It's it is what it is. So look, that's kind of where we are. Let's look at the table again, right? If you look at the overall table again, think about it. Where does that leave us with 16, 17, 15 or 16 games to go? Liverpool is still in the driver's seat.
Yeah, they're still just if even if it is quite close, but yesterday was really lucky for Arsenal because of that goal. Then now they're still in the title race, which is good.
They are. Arsenal has to go to Liverpool. Let's assume they win that. If they win that, they'll go within 3 points. Liverpool still has to go away to Everton for the postponed game. If they win that or if they lose that, it's still kind of there. But Liverpool is still pretty much 6 points ahead of Arsenal with 1 game to play. So they are very much in the driver's seat and hot favourites, I will say, given the way they play right now.
But we're not gonna. Well, I think we can just rip off the bottom half of the table, winning the league. But I mean, I'm like 20th to I'd say 7th place, and we're not gonna rip off any of the top 6. Actually,
Bournemouth is knocking. Bournemouth, Aston Villa.
Yeah, that's close.
Aston Villa also, if they win today's game, today's Sunday, they could actually get that right. So a bunch of things that's happening right now, and we'll see how the table plays. But look, the Premier League is still open. We have a couple of games now, and then some teams will be looking for an extended 10-day break. Arsenal's talking about going to Dubai.
Yep.
You remember last season's famous Dubai trip?
And then after
came back
that,
for a run.
wow. Yeah.
So maybe this season they can do that. Anything else you wanted to say on the Premier League? The what about the relegation zone?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a big relegation battle between, I'd say, 6 teams: Southampton, Leicester, Ipswich, Everton, Wolves, and West Ham.
Well, yes and no. Yes, I agree with you. They're all losing form.
Yeah.
But then West Ham and Everton still have a good advantage, right?
Yeah.
Everton's 7 points with, in fact, with the game in hand. So I would say it's Wolves, Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton. Anybody's guess. Southampton is out, more or less. 6 points out from 23 matches. Come on, they don't deserve to be here. But it's Ipswich, Leicester, and Wolves, and we'll see how it goes.
I think Southampton are a championship level club because they did manage to win the playoffs title, the most hard thing in English
That is
football
true, isn't it?
history. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a little break, and when we come back, we'll look into the other topics. Hi,
Hi.
hi, welcome back. We switched seats in case you wonder what's happened.
I don't know.
We're going to cover the Champions League on where we are. So, how many matches we're done with?
So everyone's played in 7 games.
Match day 7.
Yeah, and it's match day 7 in the Champions League, and yeah, it's everyone has. I think everyone has one more game
more
to
match.
play. But so we're gonna start at the bottom half of the table.
There are many teams which are already relegated because they haven't really won
Yeah.
much. Think about it, right? From
Yeah.
Sturm Graz to
But like, there's Man City to Sturm Graz.
Man City is in the bottom 8. Would you believe it? Man City. They lost to PSG, didn't they, in the last game, despite being again 2-0 up. They lost 4-2. That's really.
And Bologna are already relegated, and like Bologna, Sparta Praha, Leipzig, Girona, Krevna, Zveda, whatever is Sturm Graz. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah.
Where we look there actually? The camera and that thing.
Okay, wait, I'm just.
Just move it and then.
Wait.
So look, and then if you think about the next.
The next
knockout phase, potentially the teams, the knockout is 17 to 25th, right? And there are some interesting teams inside that, from Paris Saint-Germain to Juventus to others. So there are that second part of that knockout phase playoff, who will then meet the first part, which has teams like Real Madrid and
and Aston Villa, Dortmund, Brest, Lille, and Feyenoord.
If you think about it, all of them are on 13 or 12 points. And if you think about the next up to 25th, 24th is with 10 points, and Man City is also, I think, at 10. Man City is at 8 points, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
So 10 points to 13 points, and if you look at the top 8 now, you have the 8th is on 13th.
Yep, and Leverkusen and Atalanta, surprisingly, they went on to win the Europa League last season, and now they're really good in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And then AC Milan, Atletico, Inter, as they say this season. I don't know why. Lombardia, Arsenal third place, Barca second, and Liverpool
is 7 out of 7. Barca is 6 out of 7. Arsenal is 5 out of 7 with a draw, and so on. So look, right now that's your favorites for the Champions League, even to win according to the bookmakers. Liverpool right up there.
Yeah,
Real Madrid, interestingly, is number 2, and Arsenal is number 3.
But I think that and the top 3 are guaranteed to go through, so they can just
top 8.
Yep.
The top 2 are guaranteed to go through right now.
The top,
Arsenal still needs a draw, but if you think about how the matches play, even if Arsenal lose, the other somebody, Aston Villa and others, needs to win by 5 goals, and Arsenal needs to lose by 5 goals, something like that, in order to not make it.
But that won't.
And you know what? This time, Sub Junior, it's not number 1 will play number 16 or winner of number 16 to number 23. It's like there will be a pot. So number 1 will play anybody that can come in over there. So that's what. No, number 1 will play. Anybody who will from that pot who will be considered as a lower seed. So there's some complicated thing, but it's going to be very open. So you have a lip smacking matchup of an El Clasico quarterfinal, but the El Clasico round of 16. It's possible.
Yeah.
With Barca and Real Madrid, who knows? So everything is possible. Everything is up for grabs in the Champions League. So let's wait how the next week works out, guys. Watch that space. Wednesday night at 8 p.m. UK time, 9 p.m. CET. All matches will be happening. All 16 games at the same time. That's gonna be lip smackingly amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know it's a school night, mate. So hopefully you'll be able to convince the powers that you could watch the first half, or at least you can catch up of on highlights the next morning. I'm sure you'll be awake early in the morning to see what's up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's the Champions League. Let's pause for a second. Catch it. So, guys, let's talk a little bit about the transfer. As you know, the January transfer window is going on. Only about 10 days left for the transfer season.
Less than 10 days, in
Less
fact.
than 10 days. So, teams have to make their moves.
They have to, yep. They don't have a lot of time. Time's ticking.
Time's ticking. Tick tock, tick tock. The team that's made the most moves in the Premier League is
Manchester City.
What all did they do?
They bought Omar Marmoush, probably the best transfer, probably, and Kusanov.
After Mohamed Salah, yeah, from
Kusanov,
Frankfurt, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, from Frankfurt, yeah. Then who else?
They bought
from Lens.
Kusanov. He was really good last season.
Yeah, he did. And then
Victor Reis.
And then they let go of couple of them, right?
Yeah, and
this one being Kyle Walker from loan
to AC Milan.
That's right. That's what's happening. I don't think other teams have made such a big impact right now. Yeah, Aston Villa has bought someone for the right wing, Malin, has then let go of someone else on the thing. So yeah, so there are a couple of those things that are happening if you think about it. But yeah, look, there have been some loans. Man City, there are some. Anthony has gone on loan too.
Yeah, to Real Betis.
And yeah, so on. There is still a lot of action that's going on. Apparently, Rashford is being discussed with
Barcelona at 61%.
Then Chilwell and Robbie is apparently very popular amongst Tottenham, Everton, and so on. So there are a few things that are going on. Arsenal desperately need a striker, maybe another midfielder, who knows? Because
no, I don't. Yeah, but I don't think we need a midfielder. Arteta's. No offense, but Arteta's just. I think he's gone a bit mad. He just keep on signing. He signed 12 midfielders already, and he's signed 2 strikers.
Yeah.
And they're not that.
Look, that's the system. It's worked so far, or did it? Could that striker have been instrumental in getting 2 goals? Yes. Look, yesterday Havertz had a hat trick of misses. He's great. I love Havertz. I love him. I really do. He brings in so much to the game. His understanding, his positioning, his power is all brilliant.
But I mean, not to criticize him, because he's just filling in.
But Havertz should be there in the team. But there is somebody like a Haaland, like an Isak, like even Aubameyang was a bit of a predator for Arsenal before.
Yep.
And no others, right? Who are there who can just get it done? I think we need someone like that. So let's see Sesko or Gyökeres.
Sesko. Yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
Sesko was surprisingly good actually. After that, some of you might know that Euro miss against. That Euro miss against Portugal. Yeah.
All those things happen. So look, that's where we are. Expect a lot of Man United stars to go. Apparently, Chelsea want Garnacho.
And also there were rumors of Osimhen joining Chelsea, but then they offered to half his wages because they had someone called Nicolas Jackson.
Yeah,
Some of you might get the joke. Okay,
anyway. Look, that's kind of where we are at this point in time, and we'll see what happens. So look, that's where we are. Thank you again for listening to this slightly extended episode.
Yep.
I'll be away for the next 2 weeks, but we'll try and see if we can squeeze in an episode where we are in different locations.
Yeah.
If not, we'll catch up with you in some early part of February. Signing out for today is
the Football Subs.
With me, Sub Senior.
And me, Subs Junior.